We have to begin this morning with a reaction to the death of OJ Simpson, who divided Americans along racial lines when he was charged, then acquitted, of murdering his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. Simpson had a long and complicated legacy, and there's no one better to have here this morning than 60 Minutes correspondent Bill Whitaker. He covered the trial for CBS News nearly 30 years ago. Bill, they didn't call it the trial of the century for nothing. This was 1995. You had a front row seat.
I did indeed. Simpson's trial was must-see TV, with enduring characters and images that still resonate to this day. Chief among them was Simpson himself, a former football star used to outrunning the competition. In the summer of 1994, he found out he could only run so far.
This is one of the most indelible scenes of the 20th century. OJ Simpson in a white Ford Bronco. It was June of 1994, and Simpson was on the run. Days after police came across a gruesome murder scene at the home of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson. She had been brutally stabbed along with her friend, Ronald Goldman. Simpson later surrendered and declared his innocence, spawning a legal showdown that became known as the trial of the century. The prosecution was led by Marcia Clark, but the star of the courtroom drama was Simpson's lead defense attorney, Johnny Cochran. The case was filled with intrigue, including allegations of a racist cop and a leather glove which prosecutors said he used in the killings. In an unforgettable moment, Simpson was asked to try it on in the courtroom.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
And acquit they did. When the verdict was finally read,
we, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty.
There was a stark juxtaposition of emotion, some disgusted at a perceived miscarriage of justice, others thrilled that a black man had been exonerated in a judicial system that was still reeling from the Rodney King decision and the resulting LA riot. Born in San Francisco in 1947,
the football genius of OJ Simpson.
Simpson had previously best been known for his glittering Hall of Fame football career, winning a national championship and Heisman Trophy at USC and taking home an MVP award with the Buffalo Bills. That led to a film and advertising career, which took him to a near unprecedented level of stardom for an African American at the time.
You know it.
2 years after the 1995 acquittal, a civil jury ordered him to pay $33.5 million to the victims' families, though they received only a fraction of that. And in 2007, an armed robbery at a Las Vegas hotel with OJ caught on camera stealing personal collectibles he claimed had been taken from him.
I didn't know I was doing anything illegal.
This time, he couldn't escape prison, spending roughly a decade behind bars before fading out of public view following his release. I spoke to Simpson in 1996 about his forever tarnished legacy.
A lot of the feelings that we're getting right now has nothing to do with Ron, Nicole, or me. It has to do with things that are going on in people's own lives.
An attorney for the Goldman family told CBS News yesterday that Simpson had a death without penance. He also said Fred Goldman, Ronald Goldman's father, is discussing whether the family wants to resume legal action to get more settlement money from Simpson's estate.
They say they got very little.
Very little.
Yeah, because I think the award was $33 million. I think they got a little over $100,000. But this case, Bill, I mean, even hearing it yesterday, it brought back so many memories for so many different people, because it had everything: sex, race, Hollywood, sports, violence. How do you process this all these years later? How are we to sit with this as we look at this case again today?
It sort of defined us at that time, and I say it sort of set things in motion for today. Like you said, there was celebrity, there was sexual abuse, there was money, power, Hollywood, everything combined. And it was almost like a soap opera. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
soap operas lost viewership when
Yes.
the trial was on.
Because they
So
had a
many
real
people
one.
were watching the trial that this, so I think some soap operas never came back after that.
And the divide still exists.
And it's
When you
still
look
troubling,
online,
too. Yes.
after his
Yes.
death, you can still see the fracture in this country because people sit on one side or the other when it comes to OJ. Now, he lived in this place of duality that we really didn't see until everything came to light.
Is this the end of it, or are we going to be reconsidering what this case means for years to come?
I think it's the end of it as far as OJ is concerned, but the issues we're talking about now, I mean, the whole dialogue we're having in the country about race.
Yeah.
You can tap right into the OJ Simpson trial.
Yeah.
About sexual abuse. You can tap right into the OJ Simpson trial. So
The justice system.
The justice
Tap right
system.
into the OJ Simpson
the justice
trial.
system.
The racial divide, though, was so troubling at that time to see blacks, and you would see it on split screens because not all black people were cheering. I think that's important to say, but to see a large community of black people cheering and the white community looking horrified. Because two people were slaughtered.
Yeah.
Whatever you think about this case, two people were slaughtered, and no one has been held accountable for their deaths, even as we sit here today.
Yeah.
Well, there was a civil trial, and OJ was found to be responsible for the deaths. So, he was found to not be guilty by a jury of his peers in the criminal trial, but in the civil trial, he was found to be responsible for the deaths. So, take that for what it is.
Yeah, what it
He
is.
got to die at 76 instead of 25 and 30-something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two victims.
Yeah.
Bill, thank you very much.
Well, nice to have you in
Yeah,
the
really
studio.
great.
Sorry for
Yeah,
the
good to see
story,
you.
but really nice to have you
good
at
to
the
be here
table.
with you guys.
Yeah.